everyone. My name is Yeong Kim, and I'm professor of Human Development and Family Sciences at the University of Texas at Austin. And I'm also the principal investigator of Project Dual. And today I am so pleased to announce Alexa Frias as our Research Assistant of the Month for January 2026. And her supervisor nominated Alexa for this honor. And I wanted to give a quote from her supervisor. She said, Alexa is a great communicator, attentive to detail, and a fast learner. So, what do you think about what she said? And how do you feel about being selected as RA of the Month for January of 2026, the first month of the year?
Yay. Oh, it's truly an honor. I think I am very open to learning, so I think I totally agree with what she said. I love to communicate with the team and get to meet new people. And yeah.
Sounds good. So I just wanted to say, I have, you're currently on our transcription team, and every week I have transcription team lead, meetings. And right now we were feeling like we needed more people for the review team. And then, of course, the first person your supervisor recommended was your name, Alexa, if you were interested in a more leadership role within the project. And that's, in your team alone, there's over 30 students, and she named you as her top student in her team. So, congrats again for being selected. Uh, but we want to learn more about you today. So, could you say a bit about your current major and when you're planning to graduate from University of Texas at Austin?
Yeah, I'm a psychology BA major, minoring in social work, and I'm expecting to graduate May 2028.
Wow, so many years to go. Uh, so we want to learn a little bit more about you. We would love to see, where you grew up, how did you get to UT, whether UT was always your destination or you found it kind of later. Just tell us more about how you got to UT Austin as a student.
So I'm from Houston, Texas. My two of my cousins went to UT, so I grew up seeing them come here and be so excited with the community. And also in high school, I was looking into universities and I really wanted a university where I could get involved and make a real difference. And UT was definitely at the top of that list. It stood out to me because it had a great psychology program, strong research developments, and amazing faculty. Um, I think the opportunities here are endless, and I have so much to do. And I love UT's values of diversity, community, inclusion. So I think all of that really brought me here.
Sounds great. And how did you hear about my project Duel?
So I think I saw it in an advertisement in an email newsletter. I read into it more and I was immediately interested because I like cognitive development and the impact of culture. I also told my friend about it, and she was an RA when it was Project Seed. And she told me that it was a really cool project and advised me to apply.
Sounds good. So then, what made you decide to join after you heard about it?
I think I decided to join because I was interested in research. And I also resonated with the project's mission because as a child of immigrants, I have memories of translating for my mom. So I wanted to learn more about myself and how to help other children as well.
Oh, I see. So you're saying you kind of saw yourself in the topic we're studying. And then could you say what you do as a research assistant on Project Dual currently?
Yeah, I'm a Spanish RA. My main role is transcription, so I use a coding platform called Tabby to review and edit transcription IDs. I check the translations to make sure they're clean and accurate, and I also attend weekly meetings with the head RAs so they can double check my edits. I'm also getting started on the daily calls team where I contact pilot participants via email and text to, and I also review survey responses.
So what made you want to, because we started you in the transcription team and then you moved on to the daily calls team. How did you move on to the second team and what made you decide you wanted to add on that second team to being a research assistant?
Well, I talked to a whole bunch of other RAs and they recommended the daily calls team, and I wanted like another role to see more into the project and get more hands-on experience.
Mhm.
And I thought daily calls was a good flexible role for me to join.
Okay. And so when you say you were talking with other research assistants, what in what ways was it through your discussion section or could you tell me more like how did that come about?
Yeah, it's definitely the discussion sections
Oh,
and the
okay.
lecture meetings and just reaching out on Teams too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because there's so many different ways to hear about it.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And so what do you like the most about being in Project Dual?
I really like Project Dual's flexibility.
Mm,
As a student, I feel like my schedule is constantly changing and it's so unpredictable. So
mm.
I love that Project Dual takes that into account and lets me take control of my responsibilities. So yeah, I can decide what shifts I can take and how many assignments I can do. So that is really helpful. And I also want to add to that, I love how large and supportive the team is. I love meeting new people and especially knowing that we're all passionate about reaching the project's goals. I think that's wonderful.
So some students really are drawn to like smaller research teams and smaller research groups. As you know, ours is one of the bigger ones probably on campus. I wouldn't be surprised if we're the biggest, you know?
Yeah,
So what do you see as advantages of being in a big group versus a smaller group? I mean, just what are your thoughts about that?
I guess in a smaller group, it's easier to collaborate, but it's also limited creativity. Like
Ah, I
in a larger group, there's way more feedback. You can have like divisions, like how we have different teams within the team.
I know.
But then we also all collaborate. So it's like more interdisciplinary in a way.
Sounds good. So what are some new skills you develop while being in Project Dual?
I feel like Project Dual has helped me develop those good communication and networking skills from talking with other RAs and giving feedback, receiving feedback. I think that really helps. Um, Also, time management and organization skills, having to balance schoolwork and project dual responsibilities, meetings, all of that has really helped me develop those skills. Um, Also, using so many different platforms like Tabby, Redcap, Airtable, that helps with like gaining technical skills. So yeah.
Sounds good. And so one thing I'm curious about is how did this experience change or not change your view of research?
I think it's expanded my knowledge for sure because coming into Project Dual, I had not had any experience in research. I knew I wanted to get experience, but I had never gotten to know the process or how it works. So I think being at Project Dual has like allowed me to see how dynamic research can be. I thought it was data collection and analysis, but it's way more than that. It's office work, administration, so many background roles that you don't see from the outside. Also very collaborative, and I think I've really opened my mind to that.
I see. So you had a very narrow view of research and it expanded. What?
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. How has your experience at UT Austin changed as a result of being in Project Dual?
Um, I think I feel more connected to UT's community from I've had the opportunity to meet so many amazing people in the project, listening to different stories, interests. So I think that's created like a safe space, a sense of belonging, even within a large project. Um, I think my role and my skill development has also given me more confidence to take initiative, get more involved on campus, and I understand now the importance of UT's research culture, and I can see how I can make an impact here.
Sounds good. So we want to, I want to ask you a few more things about just the experiences you had as a UT Austin student generally. So tell me more about the College of Liberal Arts Honors Mentorship Program, where you're a mentor. And I know that you're also currently in the Liberal Arts Honors Program. So tell us more about that and how that's complemented your experiences at UT Austin.
Yeah, so as a mentor, I started that this semester. I help incoming freshmen in the honors program kind of um, get more into the UT system, offer resources, advice, and help them find their community here. And I think coming in to UT, I didn't really have that.
Mm.
So I really want to help give that chance to other people.
Then does that mean every liberal arts honors student gets a mentor?
No, not only the people that sign up for it.
Oh, interesting. I see. So you wish you had done that when you were okay. So, and then tell us more about your experience at the Students Expanding Austin Literacy, where you work as a reading buddy.
Yeah, so that's a campus organization. I think it might be a national org. I'm not sure. But so that's where we go to, we're assigned an elementary school and then assigned a reading buddy within that elementary school. This semester I got a third grader.
Oh,
She's so
how
sweet.
fun.
Yeah. And we help, we do like one-on-one reading sessions. So we help with their comprehension, support, give feedback to them and their teachers as well.
Mm.
So I think it's a really cool opportunity to get experience in that kind of field, education, psychology field. And I can apply like what I learned
Mhm.
in lecture to that experience, and I really like it.
So what's so interesting is, now I finished my bachelor's degree over 30 years ago. And I also did like a mentorship program with like a middle schooler in my local university that was close. And I still remember going even 30 years later and how meaningful it was because I wanted to work with children too at the time, still do. And I just wanted to say like, those are memories that, I mean, will stay with you for decades, you know?
Yeah.
The other one I wanted to ask you to talk about was Swear to Care, where you work as you're a member there. So tell us more what that is about.
Swear to Care is part of I think that it's called the Incoming Mail Project. So we've realized how socially isolated college students can be. Like the loneliness epidemic is on the rise, especially after COVID. So we want to kind of combat that by sending letters to college students at UT to hopefully lift them up, encourage them in a way, give them a sense of social inclusion. And I think it's really cool because I know I sometimes feel socially isolated. So I think it's a really cool org that helps other people.
Wow, that's such a great idea. I love it.
Yeah.
So, one thing I want to ask you is what are your thoughts about any advice you may have for future research assistants who may be joining my project?
For sure, don't be afraid to learn and ask questions. There's just so much going on at Project Dual. There's every role is a whole different learning process. So I say be open to learn and be curious. Also, it's a great opportunity to learn from others. So engaging with other RAs, getting feedback, being committed to the team. I think those are the best ways that you'll get a good experience out of Project Dual.
Sounds good. And what do you plan to do after you graduate from UT Austin?
I'm hoping to go to grad school and get my PhD in psychology.
Sounds good.
Um, I don't know what specialty yet,
Hmm.
but I do want to work with children
Hmm.
and help them with their mental health.
Are you thinking you want to do more therapy side, or are you thinking more research, or are you wanting to do both?
I'd say more therapy.
Okay, sounds good.
So I want to like have that interaction with the kids.
Yeah, sounds good. And what questions do you have for me that you may want me to answer during our interview?
So I now that I know like more about Project Dual and its mission and how it works, I want to know what inspired you to start Project Dual.
So, as you know, I've been doing research on children who serve as language brokers for their families for it feels like almost 2 decades at this point. And as our participants were no longer children, they became adults. And then I realized, you know, our previous project's focus wasn't really resonating anymore with the participants because, many of them were translators for their parents when they were kids, but then now they're in their 20s. And when we call them up and just do a follow up just to make sure, we call them and say, we want to just follow up with you and just make sure we have your, latest contact information so we can stay in touch with you for a future project. And almost many of them will say, "Oh, I don't translate for my parents anymore. Does that mean I can't be in the study?" So then I realized we can't, the focus that we used to have on Project C, which was children translating for their parents, doesn't really work anymore because they've aged out and they're now in their 20s. But the common thing though is that they're still bilingual. And
Mhm.
I've learned so much about not just kids who translate, but also bilinguals in general. Project Dual just was just an outgrowth of that to learn about bilinguals generally, because it's just so fascinating to see how bilinguals function in the United States and how they utilize their language skills as an asset for positive developmental outcomes.
Yeah, I I love that.
One thing I wanted to ask you is, we're finishing our interview. Do you have any departing words that you wanted to say to anyone listening out there to your video interview?
Um, I'd say take advantage of every opportunity you have and have fun.
Sounds good. So I wanted to close this interview with Alexa Frias. She is our January 2026 Research Assistant of the Month for Project Dual, our first one of the year. Thank you everyone for listening.